Here's the trophy that Charlene won. Pretty freaking sweet. Kinda happy. Alright, good morning YouTubers. My name's Dave. You found. Do it yourself. Do it right. Got my Foo Bar shirt on today. You know what that means? We're about to fix something that's not right. It's broke. It's leaking. This is the this is the second time I've changed these out, or changed one of them out anyways. And what I'm talking about is right here on the blue bike. As you can see, got her up on the lift. This poor seal, she's giving up the ghost. So like I said, this is the second time. I got the seals from Common Motor. It's I bought the easy seals, and boy, let me tell you, I'm not gonna buy them again. This is the second set I've had to replace. Not on this bike. I put a set on the 550. If you go back, looked at my past project video, link is up here. I put the easy seals in that bike, and both of those leaked. So I'm not too happy with these easy seals. They don't seem to work the way they're supposed to. I guess maybe because they're just too easy to install. But anyways, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and take all of this apart so I can get to that seal, and hopefully I have the correct seal. I think it is. I didn't label it. So yeah, let's get started. So I've already gathered up the tools that I think I'm going to need. Like I said, this is, I've done this a couple times on this bike and on other bikes. So go ahead and I went ahead and got metric socket, my little impact driver, some extensions. Let me give you a quick little what's got to come apart. Starting down here, the brake's got to come off. I'm going to try to remove it without actually busting the brake loose, because I don't feel like bleeding brakes today. So I'm going to try to do that without taking that loose. Of course, the wheel's going to have to come off. All that. Oh boy, all this little cover's got to come off so I can access the little crimper bolt here. This guy up here's got to come loose, and that'll allow me to take this whole fork off. It's not that difficult. Like I said, I've had this one apart, so it should be pretty easy. It should be pretty easy to take back apart. So I think I'm gonna set you up, put you on a little time lapse. Let you see it, and I'll bring you back when I got the seal. When I got the fork off. The seal, that's a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna need some other tools. So yep, here we go. So just like that, the front tire's off. I leave the old fender hanging there. I'll pull this. Once I pull this off, it'll just kind of sit there. In the past, I've put it all back together, and I was like, forgot to put the fender back on. So I've learned to just leave it right there. But yeah, so pretty simple. Not too difficult. I like the Hondas, because to get the tire off, all you do is just, you loosen these bolts here, or these nuts here, and then the whole axle, the whole thing just falls right down. and you just push the bike up, pull the wheel out, and away you go. And then, of course, I put it over here in my lean it up against the old tire holder. So yeah, easy as that. Not too difficult. So gonna go ahead and get the fork off, and I'll bring it back once that's off. So here we go. So the fork's off, as you can see. You know, it's been disassembled. This guy right here, this bolt, this is the clamp. You know, this is what keeps it. This is what keeps it where it's supposed to go. This one up here, you know, here's the other triple tree, all the way up top here. They're number 12s. You know, metric, of course. That also is a. Let me look on my right. That one is also a number 12. So that's her disassemble. And you're probably wondering why I'm only gonna do one of these seals. Well, because I only have one seal, I think. Hopefully the seal that I have is the correct seal. Here it is. I know I had extra seals. I have you know, drawers of parts. This is my little parts box, tool box. So this one was just kind of hanging out there, not labeled. So hopefully this is the right seal. It looks like it could be, but also looks like it can't be, or it couldn't be. So I don't know. We'll see. If it's not the right one, you know, I'll just go ahead and order some up. And also, while I was looking at the bike, it looked like one of these brake lines has got a little bit of dry rot. Not terrible, but you know, maybe something in the future I'll have to replace. I didn't do any of the brake lines on this bike, so you know, if it, you know, I'll take a look at it even closer. But chances are I'll replace them eventually, just because, you know, just because Mary Beth rides this bike, you know, I want it to be safe. So you know, not saying that I don't want it to be safe for myself, but you know, she's a newer rider, so I like things to work the way they're supposed to work for her. I mean, it's already a 1974 bike. It's already got its little twerks and its own little special, you know, it's special. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and set you up and show you how to take these forks apart. Here we are on the on my workbench. Here's the fork, and you know, this is the cover for the brake, your brake adjuster. To get these seals out, so this is the dust cover. Obviously, I've already pulled it up, and this is the little retaining ring that holds the seal in place. And these easy seals have a little, you can see the washer down inside of there. See that washer inside of there? That just slides out. In fact, you can just, okay, maybe not, but it just slides out. It's not in there. It's just, you know, the oil that's in there. The oil that's leaking is keeping it there. And then to get the whole fork disassembled, you have to come down here. See that hex bolt in there? You have to loosen that hex bolt. And I will tell you that if you have just pulled a bike out of a barn, a garage, wherever, that bolt is going to be a pain in the butt to get loose. I've had to use my heat gun to heat it up to get that bolt to break loose. You don't want to strip it, because if you strip it, man, you're toast, basically. You know, just go on eBay and buy another fork. So you don't want to strip that bad boy, because that's the key. That's what holds the whole fork together. And what I use, of course, you know, come over here, it's a hex bolt. And you know, back to my old hex star set. I use that and I put it on my impact. And my impact, you know, it has just enough power to pop, 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 and it breaks it loose. This one has been apart, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So before you do all of that, you might want to drain what oil is left in your fork. Drain it out. And to do that, it's right here. This little drainer plug right here. This guy right here. Yep. I believe it's number 10. And you know, just drain it out. I have my little plastic tub that I use, and you know, I'll take it out, and I will tell you that you take that bolt out and then you start pushing down on the fork. That fluid will it'll come shooting out at you. Don't ask me how I know. Just saying, I know. So, gonna go ahead and I'm gonna disassemble the fork, set you guys up over here next to my trophy that I won, and yeah, we'll get the fork taken apart. So before I took the fork off the bike, I probably should have loosened this little top nut holder thinger bobber, you know, that holds the spring in. You know, I kind of get in a hurry, but luckily I have a little baby vise. As you saw in the time lapse, it's a good thing I had the baby vise. I spoke too soon when I was talking about that bolt down there. You know, I guess they tighten up after a while. So couldn't get it out with my impact. You saw me struggling around with it for a few seconds, and then I was like, well, just gonna throw her in the vise and use my big my long handle ratchet. So that's what I did. You know, put the old socket on the long handle ratchet, and away we went. And now she's busted loose in the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and yank this spring out. She's gonna be nasty. It's gonna have you know, fluid on it. I put fork oil in this last time. I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try some automatic transmission fluid on this side. You know, people you know, they interchange it. I have fork oil. I don't think I have 4.7 ounces. I believe it is. I think. I don't think I have that much fork oil left. You know, this is kind of a spur of the moment. Hey, I see the fork's leaking, and I think I have a fork seal. So let me go ahead and yank this thing apart and change out this seal. So I didn't check to see if I had fork oil, which I have a little, but it's not enough. So I do have automatic transmission fluid. And the reason why I have a lot of automatic transmission fluid is because of the old car over there. You know, I wasn't convinced that the transmission was working properly in the old girl. You know, link to that video somewhere around here. Anyways, so I do have a bunch of automatic transmission fluid up here, and that's what I'm going to use. Oh, got this one here, STP. Here we go. Here's some more, just in case. Here's my little measuring cup. As you can see, I got it marked 4 ounces, and then I guesstimated 5 and 6. You know, for the different bikes, I have different amounts. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use some automatic transmission fluid since I don't have enough fork oil. But anyways, so spring is out. It's over here. I'm gonna pull, you know, get it out of the vise, take the little hex bolt out from down here, and then that whole fork will just, it'll pop apart, and yeah, then I can get at that seal. So let's do it. Alright, got her popped her apart. So just to kind of give you a breakdown of this guy in here, this guy goes down inside of there, and that bolt that's down at the bottom, this guy here, this is it threads on the inside here, and that's what holds everything together. There are some more parts down inside of there. It'll come out once I pull that seal out, and this is the seal that we're trying to get to. And if I can hold the camera and pull that seal out at the same time, I'll show you why I don't really like these easy seals. I mean, there's no way that you should be able to just pull a seal out like that, and I literally did not do anything other than what you just saw. So you know, they have a little ridge on them. I just don't think it's enough to actually, there's just not enough pressure to seal, and I don't believe that these are leaking around the seal. I believe they're, well, it's leaking around the seal obviously. I don't think it's leaking between the mating surfaces of the fork itself and the seal. I think it's leaking between the outside of the seal, or yeah, the outside of the seal and the mating surface of the bottom part of the fork. I think that's where it's leaking from, because there's just not, it's just not tight. It's not a tight fit. When I got them and I put them in, they just kind of popped in, and you know, I was like, how is this gonna work? And then, you know, I went on some forums, and they said that the pressure of the fluid goes in this little ring in there, and then it expands the whole seal out, and yada yada yada. And you know, I wasn't convinced. And I had already, like I said, I had already bought these, and I had already bought the ones for the 550. And if I'd have known that they were that loose, I would have just got a regular seal, put the regular seals in it. So I'm not a fan of the easy seals. Yes, they're easy to put in, and yes, they will seal for maybe a year. I think maybe that's how long these seals have been in the bike. I could go back and look at my pictures and really tell you, but you know, that's just ludicrous. There's no way a seal should only last a year. You know, these bikes, 1974. The only reason why I changed the seal in the first place was because I thought it was leaking, and it really, I don't think it was, but I was like, well, it's an old seal, let me go ahead and throw some new seals in it. And then I go ahead and throw some cheap seals in there that they leak, and now I'm doing it again and again. So you know, just buy the regular seals, don't buy the easy ones. Even though, you know, the easy ones, they're even more expensive. I guess for the ease of putting the seal in, they're more expensive, but they're junkier, they don't work as well. So anyways, lessons learned. Don't use the easy seals. Go ahead and buy the regular seal. And this is the regular seal. You know, you gotta lube up the side, and of course I'm gonna get a socket that matches the side, and I'm gonna tap it in there so it's a good, you know, a good fit, nice snug fit. This thing is, you know, on the, you know, there's metal in there. Yes, it's got rubber over it, but there's metal in there. It's really, really hard. Not easy like this one. Look at that. How is that supposed to seal anything? I don't know. Anyways, yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you know, let you get a look in here again, so you kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. You know, obviously before I go ahead and put that seal in there, I'll clean this up a little bit, clean that up, clean everything up, and go ahead and throw her all back together, and I'll bring you back for that, just so you can see the stack up and the way it goes. So Alright, so I got the seal. It wasn't the seal that I thought it was going to be. Good thing I keep all my stuff, you know, new stuff. Guess I don't know what that one goes to. But as you can see, I got the new seal in there. Use the, you know, little lock rings in there also. You gotta persuade them. I need to be persuaded every once in a while. So I just, you know, knock it in there, get a big socket like that guy. You know, just you know, knock it in there, and then you know, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the stack up. My hands are you know, my hands are all nasty, so try not to touch the camera too much. So you got the bottom part, then you got this guy here with a little spring. Make sure the threaded part, that end, goes down inside of there. Now there is a thing inside of there. You're gonna have to get that to line up. So you're gonna have to drop it in there. Oops, drop the spring. And just do that. Get that guy to come down like so. In there like so. And this guy goes in there. See how you get that little guy to come out? And that guy goes in there like so. Then you just drop it all in there together. And that goes in there like that. Actually, I did that backwards. This guy has to go in here. You gotta get it to come through. There we go. Like that. Of course, now my hands are nasty. And now you get her to line up. Go all the way through the seal, all the way down to the bottom. And that's pretty much everything. And you take your bolt and you get her started. Hopefully it starts without any issue. It feels like it started. Then you try to pull it apart. Just like that. The fork's back together. And you know, now you just gotta tighten this up. Throw this guy back in here. So we just drop it in here. I always do it so that part is down. Flat, I guess you'd say the flat end is down. I don't really think it matters that much. Slide that up. And the fun part, after your hands are all slippery, because you got, you know, grease and oil all over your hands, is getting that guy started back in there after you fill her up with fluid. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that thing down there. I'm gonna use my nasty rag to wipe my hands, you know, why not? And I'm gonna measure up the fluid and dump it in there. I believe it's 4.7, so, you know, 4.5, 4.85, you know, whatever. You get the drift. 4.7. Measure it out however you feel like you need to measure it. I use this. It's not super precise, but again, it's, you know, it's a motorcycle fork. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, got the red juice in the cup. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in the fork. Try not to make a mess. So as you can see, got like a little bend there. Just pour it in nice and slow. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have the bottom bolt torque tightened, so that's gonna leak out. That's always fun. I have it tight, but it's not torqued. Let's go ahead and give her a couple little. I guess it's tight enough. Let that slide down. Now she's tight. And I did tighten up the bleeder. Not the bleeder, but the drain when I put it back in. So continue on putting the fluid in. Boy, she's slippery. Like I said, nice and slow. And there you have it. It's all in there. If you listen real close, you can hear it draining down in there, dripping down off from that spring. You know, you probably can't hear it, but I can. And now the fun part. Fun part is, like I said, getting this on here. It's yeah, it's fun. So I'm gonna throw this back in the vise, get it tightened down, and you can see me struggle with it in a minute. So here we go. We got this guy. Make sure that the O-ring is still good on the end of it here, because it does seal. You don't want the fluid to come leaking out of here. So I guess the easiest way is to just push down and turn. It's always fun. So I get this, my crescent wrench, because you can push and down and turn at the same time. Make sure not to cross thread it. I mean, cross threading is threading, but you know, it's not the kind of thread that you want. So you just kind of, oh, there we go, look at that. Actually wasn't that difficult this time. Sometimes you got to fight with these bad boys. You know, I guess since the bottom bolt was such a pain in the butt to get out, this one just wanted to go in nice and easy. Felt sorry for me. So yeah, you just go ahead and snug her down. Typically when I get it back on the bike, that's when I really give her a nice torque. See, in this little clamp, it turns. So when I get it clamped up on the bike, that's when I give her a nice little torque, you know, tighten her up. So yeah, nothing left but you know, can't forget your dusty boot. I'm gonna put that on. I already got the lock ring in there, so it's ready to throw back up on the bike. Let's do it. So I'm gonna set you guys back up where you were before. Give you an eagle-eye view of you know, this thing going back together. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it all back together. And you know, if you guys have questions, you know, go ahead and hit me up. You know, my email address, diydaveb@gmail.com. You know, it's always in the description down there. You know, there's several ways to get a hold of me. You know, Facebook. I got my own Facebook group page. It's do it yourself, do it right. Of course, you can message me in the comments of this video. You know, go ahead and give her a thumbs up if you like it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Set you up. I'm gonna throw you on a little time lapse and throw it all back together, and then you know, I'll show you everything once I'm done. Alright guys, so as you can see, the bike is all back together. Wheels on it, forks back on it. I even tested the seal on the ground before I put her up on the bike. You know, so she's all back together. I even tested the wheel, spun the wheel, make sure the brake still works. When I was checking over my work, I did notice that the this little rubber grommet was off. This is a little keeper for your brake line, so it doesn't, you know, flop next to the tire. So, you know, my aviation background, there's a lot of checks and balances, a lot of double checks, you know, double AIP type stuff. If this is all foreign to y'all, I'm sorry, but basically, you know, if a mechanic does the work, another mechanic comes behind and you know, checks out his work. At least that's the way it works in the civilian world. In the military world, mechanic does the work, and then you have an inspector come by, look at your work. You know, I'm at Gulfstream and I'm an inspector, so I usually come back behind people and look at their work or watch them torque stuff and all that good stuff. So I kind of do the same thing when I'm working on my own bikes. I'll do the work, I'll take a break, and then I come back and you know, I put my inspector hat on, you know, turn it around, Inspector Dave, and then I go over everything that I took apart and put back together. So I usually either work left to right or top to bottom. In this case, you saw me go top to bottom. You know, I was looking at the top bolt here, the nut here that holds the spring in, and then these two guys here, or this bolt and nut here, make sure that was tight. And then I move down to the lower triple tree. There's a bolt in there, it's tight. And then I put the cover back on with these two little screws. And then I come further down and I looked at the seals, make sure the seal wasn't leaking, make sure the other seal, you know, was still good until next time when I ride it and probably starts leaking again. So then I put the caps back on them. That was done, and that's when I noticed this little rubber piece. So I had to come back down here, take these bolts back out so I could you know, finagle that in there. And so that's what I did. You saw me take this back apart, and then, you know, further down there's two bolts. Actually, you can see them on that side, right there and there. The top bolts that hold the fender on, and then, you know, two on the side. You can see them from over here, right here and there. Got those two, worked my way down, had these two big bolts hold the brake caliper on, and then these two bolts here hold the bottom struts on. Much of the same over here on this side. Got these two guys here. Oh, forgot to tell you about, you know, the axle nuts. These guys here, make sure those are tight. And then on this side you got your speedometer, and you got to take this little screw out here, and this just slides out and lines back up, and you just put your screw back in. So you know, that's what I do. I do it on most of my work. You usually don't see it. It's not something that I typically videotape, but it's you know, it's right in line with my aviation background. You know, safety is safety, whether it's a flying machine or a machine on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. You know, you always want to check out your work. Make sure you put it all back together the way it's supposed to. So, you know, that's what I do. That's it's a routine that I'm in, and you know, I think that's why it bothers me so much when I take my vehicle to a shop and you know, stuff just, you know, obvious stuff that should have been tightened, not tightened. So, you know, I think that's one reason why it irks me so much, and that's why I try to avoid shops at all costs. So, but yeah, that's a fork seal change. Down, dirty, greasy, oily. You know, it's it is what it is. It doesn't take too long, so it's not hard. It's not something you should be scared of. If your fork seal is leaking, you know, go ahead and buy some seals and get your hands greasy or oily or automatic transmission fluidy, because that's what I put back in this side. So this side now has automatic transmission fluid. This side over here has fork oil. You know, hopefully it doesn't hurt it. I don't think it should. So, but anyways, I think that's gonna do it for this video. If you like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If not, you know, I'm sorry. You know, it's pretty specific, CB360. This also goes for 550s. You could do the same. It's the same process for a 550, for a 350, for a 450, for all the, basically all the 70s bikes. It's pretty, not all the 70s bikes, I should say all the 70s Hondas are pretty much the same. Now Yamahas, they're a little different. They're you know, they gotta be different. So anyways, like I said, if you like it, give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram, diydaveb. Send me an email, diydaveb@gmail.com. And yeah, Facebook group, do it yourself, do it right. And you know, like always, till next time. Thanks a lot. Forgot to mention, make sure you take it for a test ride.